In the IORA Cup Series, the quantum quest for the Cup ends tonight, and quite frankly, it might just end here in practice and qualifying the race. 80 final laps on the year, but it could come down to how many drivers we have registered as at the moment. Your championship race hangs the balance of a points deficit that is 21 in total. And right now, James Thurston would need to have less than 22 drivers in this session to lock up the title here and now. This is the IORA Cup Series, the third season finale. Daniel Mosteller, last season's champion, has gone to the off-track admin side of this league. He will not be defending his title crown. However, Thurston has been here since the beginning, and he's going to come back once again with a lot of speed, and this time around, he might just have enough speed to lock up the championship before we hit the grid for the final time in this year. 24 races of action, including this one, and it all hangs in the balance of how many drivers we get registered. As is 7 minutes remain here in practice, and James Thurston is currently third on the board. Vincent Guecci going to be first, then Corey Lyle is going to be runner-up on the board with a 56, and James Thurston rounds out your top three. He comes into this event as your points leader. Jackson Carr going to be fourth on the board in the number 83. River Page going to be in fifth, and Jay Schaefer going to be there in the sixth spot with Aiden Walker, number 93, in the seventh position. Mason Moriarty, who won last time we went racing at Atlanta, is currently going to be eighth on the board. And John Smith, we saw run top 10 last night in the Wednesday night FORL Cup Series, is here once again inside the top 10, and we'll see how long he gets it in to this top 10, or how long he's able to stick it in, and it's currently going to be 10th on the board in the Burnt Rubber Warehouse number 54 machine, as the PBR driver now has a teammate in the field as well. And as we said, 22 is the magic number for any other driver to have a shot. We've got now a total of just about 18. Going to be Michael Cormetis, Cooper Glick, Jonathan Leger, Sean Rowe, and the Alexander Balears machine all joining. So as it is, 18 drivers in the session with 6 minutes remaining before qualifying. And Cooper Glick returning for the first time since his near victory at Talladega. Unfortunately for his case, the 05 machine finished runner-up on the night. Actually, I think that got stripped of him due to the wreck that he got involved with in the final 500 feet. The 05 has made very few appearances in this series, and now coming back once again after one of his more successful attempts. Here and now, the Cooper Glick machine want to keep an eye out for as he comes back after what could have been his first victory on the season. Braxton Whitaker, one of the drivers who's been here since the very first race in this league, has returned once again with one final run of the Brax Tech number 51. Braxton Whitaker saying that he's got a sponsor announcement coming very, very soon, and thankfully, we love to see drivers getting sponsors, and that means he's going to be able to move on up as he's beginning his own team in the FORL Cup Series. IORA, of course, a full-time driver and administrator since the very beginning, but now the 51, with one more run with the Brax Sector machinery, runs his very first IORA paint scheme, only now with the new contingencies and new banners represent the changing times and a remembrance of his past as he looks forward to his future as a driver. Braxton going to be 13th on the board here, and Michael Deitch going to be 12th in the Hendrick Cars number 57. Ran a solid top 10 race last night. Actually fell just a bit off the top 10 at the tail end there, with a lot of pressure from guys like Keegan Doherty and John Smith. Now, Smith is in this field tonight, so a good majority of the competition you saw on Wednesday, it's going to transfer over here to Thursday. Jonathan Leger making his debut in the IORA Cup Series in the Dodge Charger number 28, now coming out of the season very late, if not maybe a bit too late to get anything going, but momentum hopefully on his case going to be with him throughout the remainder of the year. Season 4 going to start in September. We have a summer break and a spring break as well before we get things back going once again. But as we go through practice, Jonathan Leger, one of the new drivers to keep an eye out for, as he's currently going to put it 14th on the charts in his first lap. Cooper Glick going to be sideways there as Michael Cormetis gets on his way, and the Coca-Cola number 025 machine back down to pit road. Vincent Guecci going to be there as well, and as you might see, the sun is already setting here in Miami. Homestead, the place to be for dynamic racing in the weather, and when the weather, of course, shifts through the day, you can always be sure that the racing will be as great as it possibly can be. And right now, the 09 machine of Vincent Guecci going to be on his way once again, leading the way in practice by 46 thousandths of a second over the man who leads your championship standings in the 96. and McGuetchi out in front. James Thurston going to be in second. River Page going to be in third. We have a lot of great broadcasts live on FTN that are all competing for the same prime time audience, and I'm pretty sure every single one of them deserves it at once. Of course, first off of the night, the IORA Cup Series Championship, and that's going to begin in a few minutes' time. But at 8:45, the Road to Pro Series, the NASCAR iRacing Road to Pro Series goes live with the incredible Terry Radford and Daniel Falkingham duel, joined by a new commentator in the Fireball Talks NASCAR lineup, and that man, a great addition. It's going to be the man, who else but the driver? Well, not tonight. It's going to be, actually, we'll get him in. I believe it's going to be, wow, Jason Rockefeller. There we have it, and Rockefeller joining us for the first time on FTN. Just had to make sure we could verify his name there, as we want to make sure that every broadcaster is credited properly, and he'll be one of the guys to watch out for on the Road to Pro stream, as I'll be back at 9:30 with the Highline Racing League, as we have 80 more laps before this season says goodbye, and a great season it's been, with an awful lot of action and awful lot of intense moments. And now the intensity all comes to its climaxing moment, as it's going to be side by side between the 93 and the 09 machine. Guetchi going to be there with the Aiden Walker. Number 93s, they come down to the line once more. 2 minutes remaining on the board, and down to the inside Guetchi goes. He's going to let the driver, the 93, going to get more speed in it, and Aiden Walker, one of the best drivers all season long, was up there in the championship battle until the very end with Paige, Moriarty, Chase Schaefer, and of course himself. And Chase Schaefer is going to be in this race after a few races of substitution and a few races of trying to make all those points back up. The 99 not able to recover the major deficit he found himself in, and now number 99 for Monster Designs makes one more run of the season, and he says unfortunately this might be the end of his full-time career in IORA. Hopefully for his sake it won't be, but we have always enjoyed the company of Chase Schaefer, a perennial top 5 driver in this league whenever he gets things going. He won the IORA World Tour earlier this season, and now he's looking to win one final time until, of course, the next season comes, and this could be the sunset for his full-time run in the IORA Cup Series after 3 seasons of racing. And as we continue to look around, Corey Lau is going to be on pit road. River Page with a striking brand new number 24, and this time incorporating the elements of the Miata Gang Designs paint shop that he owns and operates with McConey Setup Shop. And McConey Setup Shop, a proud partner, of course, of that number 24 machine, and they have been a partner of many things on the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel. For starters, McConey Entertainment. I'm thankful enough to have an opportunity to go out and broadcast for them every so often. It's going to be, of course, usually Sundays for me. We had one a few weeks ago with Alexander Badares and myself. So McConey Setup Shop and McConey Entertainment, a great ambassador for the simulation racing scene as a whole. And River Page, a great ambassador for them, as 21 seconds remain on the board here. And Vincent Guecci going to make a big slide into the infield. Corey Lau is going to be there as well, and it's a smoke show across the line. But nonetheless, Vincent Guecci looks to be the fastest here in practice. Thurston going to be all the way around. River Page makes it through. Corey Lau is going to be right there as well. But the 09 machine of Vincent Guecci, the fastest man in practice by 46 1,000ths of a second. And here we go to our final qualifying session of the season before we get our 80 laps in. And that will be all she wrote on the 3rd season of the IORA Cup Series, and the ups and downs for every driver have all culminated to this one moment as we get things going uninterrupted one last time. Let's take a quick look at every driver going out. James Thurston going to be on his way here. 5 minutes remaining to see whether or not he'll be able to lock in the championship in advance. If we don't get more than 22 drivers, he will be good to go, and that will be all she wrote for any other driver. The man in the number 96 machine of James Thurston on his way once again in the Hatsune Miku Good Smile Racing number 96. And James Thurston, one of the best drivers in the Wednesday night FORL Cup Series and the IORA Cup Series as well, and combining for, I believe, a total of about 8-9 wins on the season already between both of those leagues, and always against some very strong competition and drivers crossing over on Wednesdays and Thursdays most often. James Thurston gets the better of him as he ends his season on a high note. Hopefully, he'll be able to get that pole position for his 96 operation, and Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports looks to go off with a strong ending note as the 96 rounds the back that time by, and you can see the 96, one of those drivers who chooses to stick it all the way up high and use that grip strip to keep him much quicker. Up to the high line, the 96 is going to be able to power through, get that momentum on the high side, and then barrel back down. Aiden Walker going to be coming down to the high side himself. It looks like he stays all the way up. Vincent Guecci going to be in the middle groove, not close to the seam, not close to the grip strip. He'll be on his way nonetheless, as it's going to be John Smith crew to the line, and it's going to be Thurston top of the board by 0.4 of a second. Corey Lyle's going to be 5th on the board as is, falls down to the 6th here, and we'll see if the Hooters number 56 machine can get a Hooter holler here. He goes all the way down to the middle of the track, and we did some testing earlier in this week about the setup. Homestead, of course, a very tricky track, and you want to have a perfect setup, and it looks like Lyles did not lose all too much speed there, not getting as tight as we saw in the original iteration of the setup. He's going to be 4th on the board on that lap, but James Thurston holds on strong, and as it stands, he has the pole position by 91 thousandths of a second. Mason Moriarty going to be there in position number 9 now, as Moriarty going through for his first time lap on the night, and down the line once again to be able to make it so in about a half lap's time, as the Moriarty machine, your defending winner, has already gotten what could be his ticket out the door for the season. One win to get it over with, and thankfully, of course, he's going to be thanking his lucky stars, getting it by 2/1000ths of a second. Here, however, it's all going to be skill and talent that gets through, as he goes down the line once again. Mason Moriarty makes it so and goes 4th on the board on his first lap. A lot of potential here. We will see what he's able to hold on to, as we'll take a look on board with the driver number 6. And he's going to spin it as soon as we mention potential, and it looks like a bit too much potential energy transferred over there, and Mason Moriarty down and out of his final qualifying session of the season. 10 drivers have taken laps so far. Michael Deitch going to be on his way though, and now how we ride aboard with the man who does not look like he's going to spin anytime soon. Michael Deitch, who goes position number 11 on the board, if that one counted, but it won't. That's his warm-up lap. Now he's going to be on the way one more time in Homestead. And Deitch going to go all the way down to the inside line there, gets it a bit tight. You can see he rolls off the throttle pedal, and now going to try to keep it a bit higher, but he's going to kick it down to the inside. Once again, the reflection glowing off his windshield. The sun is shining, but by the tail end of this event, 80 laps through, it will be a full night sky. It's going to be Deitch down to the line. Once again, he's going to be able to go into position number 10. Jonathan Leisure going to be backing down into 11th. Joseph Armstrong now on the track, but it's going to be Deitch in the wall there. Will he be able to keep going? It looks like he does, as the grip strip gives him just enough power to keep momentum in it so far. John Smith, Jason Beckman, Alexander Balderas, Joseph Armstrong, and Michael Cormetis not taking laps, and Sean Rowe going to be on his way now. As we take a look at Joseph Armstrong, he's on pit road here, is not looking to take a lap, as Sean Rowe in the 099 machine came second last night in the FORL Cup Series Championship. Well, unfortunately for his case in the Thursday night showdown, he is not up in the points. He's a great driver, and we've always seen great runs out of him, but tonight, not his night when it comes down to the championship run, but he could still make a run for the money of the race leaders, and that's what he always aims to do. Sean Rowe makes it down around one more time. 30 seconds remain here in qualifying. Rowe going to be the final man to keep an eye out for, and as soon as qualifying is over, we will get you your starting grid, and Rowe going to be on his way. We'll see how high he's able to shoot it, as it looks like qualifying is all but over here and now. Rowe going to rise up down to the high line and up again. It comes down to the back here. We have it. Sean Rowe with a final lap in qualifying this season, and he gets it done. And that will be all she wrote for qualifying, which leads us to our final starting grid of the season. So as we get into it, Sean Rowe is going to be despawned from the circuit any moment now, and that he was. So let's find out where Rowe started, as well as the remainder of the field. This will be it, and we've got a championship announcement coming in just a few moments time. As we get things going, it's gonna be your pole sitter in frame right about now, and take a look at this for your final race in season number 3 of the IORA Cup Series. The man on the front row who leads him off, it's gonna be James Thurston with a 32.795 position number 1. Then it's gonna be Chase Schaefer, 32.871 on his end. He's gonna be second on the board with a 32.871 right there. It's a 795 for James Thurston, as timing and scoring giving us a brand new loop. Jackson Carr going to be third on the board, and the number 83 going to be the 8 on your screen tonight, and the Chevy Camaro number 83, shades of Richard Childress Racing's new Kyle Busch entry. He'll have a 32.886, a tricky track, and the skillful drivers always ride to the top. Jackson Carr, one of which. Rounding out your second row on the outside line, David River Page, 32.951 for the Mahoney Setup Shop Incorporated, number 24, and Mason Moriarty for Kempton Excavating, and Cutsdown Family Chiropractic, 33.165 for your defending winner at Atlanta. Got it done by 2 thousandths over Chase Schaefer. Will he get it done once again? That remains to be seen. Vincent Guecci going to be 6th on the board with 33.178, and that's going to be the final run for him in qualifying. Fastest in practice, however, as Aiden Walker in the number 93 machine, sponsored by 213 Simware, comes home in qualifying 7th with a 33.243. Sean Rowe for Quaker State going to be rounding out that top 8. He'll have a 33.312 as Corey Lyles, your Daytona winner, gets home with a 33.360 in 9th, and Cooper Glick, for, of course, his own sponsorship, Cooper Glick's Paint, he's going to be 10th on the board with 33.426. From there on out, 11th on the grid, going to be the Hendrick Cars, number 57. Michael Deitch going to have a 33.67 cooked up as Jonathan Leisure on debut makes it home. In qualifying, he'll have a 33.379, edited to a 3719 as timing and scoring updates once more. And Braxton Whitaker going to be with a 33.999. That's going to be all 3 multiples in that grouping of his lap time. He'll be the final driver with a time lap in the 13th spot. From there on out, Joseph Armstrong going to be in 14th, and it's going to be James Bomar in 15th, and John Smith not going to be the 48 in your screen. He'll be the 54 in 16th. Then from there on out, indeed, it's going to be Michael Cormetis not on the grid right now. Jason Beckman not as well. And to round out your final field of the season, Alexander Balderas, no time for him, and that will be your final starting grid of the season here in the IORA Cup Series. And as all the drivers get ready to do it once again, James Thurston, it is official, will be your Season 3 champion. As we do not have over 22 entries, it is locked up. The points will be the same for the first place driver when they exit as it was when they entered. Who else but James Thurston to get it done here and now? The Good Smile Racing Machine in for a leisurely drive and a good time. One final time as the 96 who wins your championship will lead them off for the final run of the year. It's going to be James Thurston on pole position, then Chase Schaefer in second, and it's going to be the sun setting already. The temperature's changing, and a new season going to be around in September, but we say farewell to the 3rd season of the IORA Cup Series. This is the championship finale. We are green, green, green one last time. And we down the back, we got a wreck. It's going to be James Bomar there with the man in the number 01 machine. That's going to be Jonathan Leisure. Yellow flag is out already, and that will bring an end to our initial start of the night. 2 cars go down and around, and that's going to be Leisure and Bomar. Let's find out just why, as Jonathan Leisure going to be in a bit of trouble that time around. The 01 machine on your screen. The number 28 on timing and scoring has a bit of an issue there, and the kerfuffle bruise from the very beginning of the night. Joseph Armstrong going to go down to the inside line. He won at New Hampshire. Looking to make some magic once again, and while it's not the magic mile, looking for everything that he can take. And for all those tuning in, thank you all for your support. Be sure to leave a like on the stream to make sure it's boosted and all the drivers get more of this exposure. And unfortunately not the exposure that Leisure wants there. As you can see once again, he just gets loose off the high side, and it all drops into James Bomar, and Bomar gets turned around immediately thereafter. 16 drivers make it to the green flag, and the 41 machine gets turned around first with the 01 machine of Jonathan Leisure down and around, the both of which are, and they go spinning and sliding out of bounds 2 laps in out of 80. And Leisure going to be back on his way. Chase Schaefer now out in front as James Thurston at the timing and scoring loop was not validated as your leader. So we'll see whether or not that's going to change, but it looks like that's going to be stable as 2 laps in out of 80 becomes 3 in out of 80, and a few drivers come down to pit road already. It's going to be Jonathan Leisure there with John Smith, Cooper Glick, and they're all coming in for the first time and what could be the final time for them. That we will see as Leisure makes it into his pit stall. Aiden Walker now going to be 2 laps down already, and it looks like that's going to be a penalty for him as he waits to exit pit road. A penalty to end off the season, not what he wants at all, but Walker being held several laps as it's going to be Leisure there out on pit road. No, it's going to be John Smith with Cooper Glick right in front as we currently have a total of just about 14 drivers on the lead lap for the final race of the season, 3 laps in of 80, and going down the backstretch as your race leader, who else but the man in that number 99 machine in Chase Schaefer. In the nighttime sky, it is setting itself, of course, into the stage, and the stage has been set for one incredible championship finale. But right now, the 99 machine knows he's got an awful lot to prove as the night goes on. He's currently going to be leading the way here, and however the case is, still has an awful lot of competition in James Thurston. When they went at it there for about a half lap's time, they were just about side by side for the good majority of that very brief run. And battling inside once again, it's going to be Chase Schaefer as they're going to go 1 lap to green this time around, and it will be green flag racing next time by at lap number 5. The first few going to go down the wayside here due to an early wreck between Bomar and Jonathan Leisure, as Leisure is going to be at the tail end of the field, and John Smith is going to be right there as well. Now, as it stands, Leisure going to be behind James Bomar as Bomar goes up into 11th, and it's going to be Leisure who caused that incident going down to the back of the field, and that's effectively going to be his penalty as he spent a total of 1 minute on pit road, 48 seconds overall to make sure he had all his damage repaired and got all his pit service in for the night. We'll see whether or not he's going to be able to keep up on pace this time, though, as 4 laps in, Chase Schaefer leads from now the James Thurston machine, although Thurston goes down to the inside once again. We'll see what he has in store. That's, of course, where all pole sitters start in the NASCAR Cup Series of the real world in most cases. The inside line, less distance, going to be a bit easier to travel. But right now, traveling, that is the tale for the 96 machine traveling to the championship victory. Now, can he get one more win of the season? That remains to be seen. Let's go back at it this time by first restart of the night, led by the 99. With that number 99, seeing the iRacing official pace car go down and in, this is going to be the first restart in the final race of the season. Let's get right back at it once again. Green flags out, led by Chase Schaefer. And that time by everyone able to make it through nice and clean. Great start for the remainder of the field. You can see now Sean Grove goes down to the inside line on James Bomar. Battles are brewing here in Homestead. 16 cars on the circuit right now. Aiden Walker going to be a total of 4 laps down, and that's a penalty. You'll only be able to regain laps due to iRacing's jurisdiction, and it's going to be 3 wide there with Michael Deitch in the middle of it, and it's going to be Cooper Glip up high. Then it's going to be John Smith way down low, and it's going to be Smith who gets the better of the both of them. Now Cooper Glip going to be fighting high with Michael Deitch, and Glick gets a run. He's going to be able to save it. No wreck there, and thankfully Glick able to make it so as the driver in the number 28 machine, that's going to be Jonathan Leisure, still holds on pace here. However, the remainder of the field beginning to pull away for the first time of the night. We're getting a bit of a longer run, and of course the first run we had only 1.5 lap, so anything is better than nothing, and that's going to be the case right now as it's exemplified with the battle in second. Thurston goes up high here, and River Page goes down to the inside line for position number 2. Now it's going to be Chase Schaefer out in front by 1/4 of a second as we get things going. 7 laps in out of 80. A nice crossover move there by the man at 96, and he gets River Page right back where he started in position number 3. The battle gets reset, and the number 24 gets a nudge there, and it's going to be a bit of a vice versa maneuver as now Thurston gets a shove for the man in that number 24 across the stripe once again. Chase Schaefer going to be able to lead him down, but it is going to be James Thurston, their championship winner, there in second. The $300 grand prize. He just has to make sure he crosses the line and does not get disqualified to get it in his hand. That remains to be seen, of course, as River Page holds on out in front. The man in the number 24 going to be right there in third. Jackson Carr putting some pressure down on River here. Let's take a look on board. And right now, it's going to be a bit of a blind spot for the man in that number 24. River Page might not see him, but it's going to be definitely Jackson Carr that was there as he follows just a bit further back. And now, he's going to get a bit better of a run than what he had before as he goes up to the high side once again and going to get right up into the grip strip. Tries to put some power down on it. Page going to get a bit loose there, and he's going to lose a lot of time. And now Jackson Carr right there with him, and look at him go. The 83 machine goes right out in front of him, and you can see they'll be side by side. Page gets right up into the grip strip, using as much of it as he can, and now getting closer to James Thurston, but not without a bit of an incident as he's running that wall as hard as he can. Might be a bit of a bobble through, and now Jackson Carr battles for second, but Thurston has the edge on momentum and will use it to just about get him that time by. Not going to be clearance, but oh so close as they go up high once again. And now it's going to be a bit of a troublesome maneuver there for the man in 96. James Thurston gets by, but River Page is losing more and more time as we speak, and not good at all to see as it's going to be up high. The 24 falls back into fourth, and we'll take a look at the closest battle on the racing circuit as it is. There's going to be the man between, of course, the Vince Gucci machine and the Mason Moriarty machine. Joseph Armstrong between the both of them facing off against the 09 as they go side by side, this time by Gucci going into that turn, and he's going to be able to get right up there as Mason Moriarty in front of them in frame. You can see Armstrong try to make something happen on the man in front, but so far the battle for sixth is not much of a battle. We'll see how long it turns out to be. A stalemate, however, certainly not going to be for all too long, as the 09 machine, one of the most aggressive drivers in this league, looking to get it done once again as Jackson Carr tries to get it done on James Thurston that time by. And the sky now a murkier orange than what we saw in the bright yellow. It is gone, and in its place a much darker setting as we continue to get darker and darker until the checkered flag falls. Page gonna have an awful lot of speed up on the high side, gonna be about 5 miles an hour quicker off the exit of turn number 2, and using that to barrel down the stretch. Mason Moriarty gonna be keeping up with him right then and right there. There's Mason right there in position number 5, and he's gonna go up to the middle groove there, trying to make something happen. Does he get a bit of a balance in both ways? I don't believe he will, and he gets just a bit tight there. Keeps it going nonetheless as they're gonna be single file out in front, and now everyone biding their time as Michael Dyche going to go right there battling with the man in the 05 machine and the 51, although for now Braxton Whitaker going to get the better of him as Whitaker fights the man in the 05 and Cooper Glick. And Cooper Glick going to be right there in tow. Now Glick, his second race of the season, and as it stands, he's going to be right there in position number 11, and Michael Dyche falls down into 12th as a result of this battle, and with Braxton Whitaker right in front of the both of them. Dyche knows he's got to use that lap car as a pickoff, and that he does, and it looks like he'll be able to get there effectively, and now he effectively has that position with a nice maneuver through the back straightaway. Michael Dyche goes up into 11th, and Joseph Armstrong falls down into 10th here, and he was further up in front. Let's find out just what happened, as it seems like pace was lost this time around. Let's take a look at the man in that number 20 machine, as it's going to be Armstrong, a one-time race winner this season, going way off to the inside there, and thankfully able to save it, but he does lose awful lots of time, and now gets it back rolling. The man in the number 20, Joseph Armstrong, position number 10 after that incident, and while he's back on his way, not without losing an awful lot of time, Vincent Gucci now losing time. It's going to be Sean Rowe going for position number 6, right behind your top 5. Up to the high side, it's going to be James Bomar there with John Smith. Joseph Armstrong there, as it's going to be Gucci now losing a lot of time and a lot of pace. He's able to hold on, but not without a bit of a jumble. And now Sean Rowe gets by on James Bomar. Vincent Gucci getting right there with the John Smith machine. And now, once again, side by side, 4-6, and this is the closest battle that is for certain, and it's evident that these guys are not laying back, not one bit, and they go down to the stripe once again. 16 laps in, out of 80, led by Chase Schaefer here and now in Homestead, and they go up high once more. James Thurston going to be right there settling the score, and what's in store for Jackson Carr, we don't know just yet, but he's going to be in third off of his best pace all season long. Now, Jackson Carr has not won this season just yet, but he still has an opportunity to make it happen. If he gets in front of Thurston, he might have enough pace to chase down Chase Schaefer. And that time by, as we mentioned, down, of course, the man in that 99 machine, mentioning chasing him down. That time around, Jackson Carr about a tenth of a second slower, but the time beforehand only about 2/100ths of a second slower. And going up high once more, it seems like some drivers continue to rip that grip strip, because it just looks like it is the way to go around this circuit here and now. As they go down to the bottom, it's going to be a fluctuation in lines. Now, Homestead is what's called a dynamic circuit when it comes to its banking, when it comes to its turning radiuses, and all those radii all add up to a much different experience than a track like Texas, a track like Charlotte, or anything in between when it comes to those mile and a half, most of which are very similar. Homestead, one of a kind, and it originally was like a miniature Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but that is not the case anymore. And Homestead now, one of the most unique mile-and-a-half circuits you'll ever see in the real world and iRacing alike, as they go down to back once again. Guecci still fighting side by side with the driver in the number 41 machine, and James Beaumont holding on strong. He's come into his own in the later segment of this season, and the burnt rubber racing warehouse machine gonna burn just a bit of rubber that time around, and you can see he goes up high and gets a bit of a skid mark there on the car. Now the 09 machine backs it in, and Vincent Guecci right there with the Scott number 099 machine. No, it's going to be the Scott number 09. It's the 099 now going to be in front of both of these drivers, and the 09 keeps it in line. Beaumont going to lock it up. He's going to be able to save it, and that's not going to be a yellow flag. Thankfully, James Beaumont is able to keep it going, but James Beaumont nonetheless gets an awful lot of damage there, and let's take a look at just what happened. And you can see Beaumont right there in frame with Vincent Guecci driving as hard as he can, and he gets it a bit slippery and just takes it up to the wall. Thankfully, he locks it down as soon as he does, and holding the brakes is what saves the remainder of the field here as the number 41 keeps it running for PBR now. It looks like he'll have to recover at a later date, as so far 20 laps in, the leaders have been able to pull away, and Chase Schaefer has led this one from the stripe to the stripe. When he got it down to that green flag, he got the perfect restart on James Thurston, and he's led him from there. The man in the number 96 certainly wants to win the final race of the season. He's already gotten that championship locked up. Getting it done here and now would just be a cherry on top of a perfect storm, and that perfect storm in the form of a cake here, you might as well say it, as Chase Schaefer runs it down to the bottom and keeping himself stuffed within it as he goes up high once again. Every driver now dispersed by at least 0.2 of a second, except for one, as it seems like a battle was brewing for just a moment, and that it is not anymore. A few drivers get a bit slideways, and that's going to be one going slideways indeed. Braxton Whitaker goes almost down around that time around, and now keeps it going. The Brax Tech number 51 has the hardware to get that incident, and now more than ever, he needs to keep it driving like there's nothing wrong with it. 22 laps in out of 80, a green flag run in procession. And as it stands, very few drivers close to one another, meaning we might just go all the way green in the final race of the season. And that might be what these drivers want. It might just not be, as this is, of course, going to be the final run around. Every driver wants an opportunity to win that race, but Chase Schaefer has taken opportunities away from just about everyone so far. He leads them down the line once again. The number 99 machine going to be position number 1, with James Thurston in second and River Page in third. It's going to be Jackson Carr in position number 4 and Sean Rowe right there with the River Page machine. And now going to be a bit further off as Page goes up high on the Jackson Carr machinery, and Mahoney setup shop number 24 machine set up nice and smooth on a fixed setup here tonight, and down the back straightaway, the number 24 gets it done in third. Jackson Carr going to be in fourth now, as the net spend number 80 machine is going to have a net loss at number 83. Falls back one more spot, now down into fourth. Sean Rowe going to be in fifth here. Vincent Guecci going to be in the sixth spot, and Mason Moriarty chasing down Vincent Guecci for the top 6. The number 6 machine, who's always ran in that 6th spot whenever anything happens, now gets up high to chase down Guecci. Let's ride aboard with the man of the 6. And getting right to the bumper of Guecci, they're able to tap him right out of the way. You can see Guecci not going to be happy about that one, but he gets that barrel down. And now Vincent falls back one more spot, as the 09 machine knows he does not have the pace to keep up. Gets into the wall, gets right up top on that grip strip, but he goes down to the inside line. He might have a bit of a run going, and we'll see how he uses it this time by. The 09 machine has a bit of a pull on this 6, but not going to be enough to make a lunge in, and he keeps going regardless of everything, as now Guecci goes down to the inside line. He's in a bit of trouble there on the apron almost. He saves it nonetheless, and we keep it under green, 25 laps in out of 80. And Michael Deitch and Corey Lyles, two of the drivers that have been up front at plate races all season long, right now battling each other for 11th on the grid. And it's going to be gridding up, of course, that we saw them outside of the top 10. But as we go racing, they're battling once or as it is, though they're not the closest battle to the racing circuit. It's going to be between James Beaumont and the driver of the number 20 machine, Joseph Armstrong, getting some pressure here down to the inside line. Beaumont going to be able to go, but Armstrong using that patience that he's always had. The experience shows, and he's going to use that high line effectively. And side by side, Beaumont's going to freak it, and now he's going to go down to the inside line and save it once again, but not without a detrimental action. And he loses a few spots on his run once more. 26 laps in out of 80 in trouble. Once more, settling the score, Joe Armstrong gets it done, and Bomar goes down a pit road, and that could be done and done for a season. That we will see as Chase Schaefer getting chased down by James Thurston now, and Thurston the fastest man on the circuit that time by only about 100th of a second faster, but getting better and better as we have gone on, and now it appears that the both of these two are right with one another. 27 and out of 80 up high. It's going to be James Thurston and Chase Schaefer down low, the 99, the 96, and they're just in time for the lap 28 mark here as they are now nose to tail, front and back. Take a look at the rear view camera here for the number 99 machine. Monster Designs number 99, the sponsorship right in play. And Thurston, the overall champion, fighting the World Tour champion here. And these two drivers as versatile as ever. As you can see down to the inside line, it's going to be Thurston going for it. And he gets that quarter panel lunge in. Nice and smooth. Take a look at this now. Thurston down to the inside line. And we'll see whether or not he has enough momentum to clear Chase Schaefer. And that he does, but barely. Going to be a bit of a bump there. And they keep it going. But down the line, they're side by side for the race lead. And not without an incident. They bump one another. And contact is made. But thankfully for the both of them, not going to be detrimental as it's going to be Schaefer sliding up just a bit. He goes all the way up high. Thurston going to freak out as well. But they both save it at the same time. And they keep it going. Nonetheless, it's going to be a great maneuver by the both of them as it now seems like tire strategy is in play, but Thurston getting wiggled all over, up, right, left, down. They're all going to all the directions they can reach as the 99 machine goes up high once again, battling for the final win on the season. This means everything, and it's going to be side by side once again. That time around, though, it looks like Schaefer might have been able to lead that lap as they go double file without much hesitance, and the hesitation between both of these drivers, it appears to be all but gone as up high, Chase Schaefer going to be able to get it done. Get a bit of a maneuver going. Now James Thurston falling back just a bit himself. And Thurston goes down to the inside line once again. Always lunging it down, trying to make something happen. And the extreme maneuvers made by the 96 machine seldom fail. And he's going to be able to take him right back up to the line. Schaefer has that edge with momentum once more, but not by much. As the 99 leads by about a car length that time around. And looking at the rear view chase shot, you can see this drone camera gives you every inch of the angle. He goes all the way down to the inside line, almost getting it to the apex as a usual mile and a half is. But then working back up the track through the backstretch, going to be just like most circuits. And then it becomes a bit unorthodox. Chase Schaefer stays up high, and James Thurston goes down low. They're going to bang just a bit, but not without much contact, not without very little damage. And now James Thurston going to go down a pit road that time around. The 96 going to be a bit of trouble as Schaefer comes in. Now it looks to be strategic pit stops. The 96 in for what could be his final on the season. That remains to be seen. If we do go green all the way from here on out, I do believe we'll get one more pit stop as a 32-lap cycle kicks this one off. And now down the pit road, your championship winner goes, and Chase Schaefer, your race leader, stays out in front. 32 in, out of 80, and Schaefer keeps it running. Jackson Carr going to be gunning him down in the second spot, and Joseph Armstrong stays in third. Your top four going to be comprised of course, those drivers, but now John Smith in trouble. He's backwards on the track and gets it going, and not sure what he's doing at all. And we'll check an instant replays. It seems like the number 48 machine got absolutely slowed down. We'll see by what, though, as he gets right into the wall, and he backs it down to dead zero on the track. And it looks like he stops there, and nothing more he can do for just a moment. And then he puts it in reverse and gets it going once again. So thankfully, a quick exit from that very risky position. And 33 laps in, John Smith comes down to pit road for his first stop on the night. And Joseph Armstrong now is your race leader, 33 laps in out of 80. Cooper Glick now 18 seconds off of the leader. Chase Schaefer going to be out on his way. Jackson Carr going to be right there. And James Thurston, as it is, just coming into pit road. We'll see what he's got in the store, but it looks like he's going to be way off cycle here. Not sure why that is the case. And as he comes right out of pit road, Schaefer going to be on that lead lap. And now, with Thurston that far off, we will see what he's got in stores. It certainly seems like he's in big trouble. That pig's exit might have cost him, and it looks like he actually got a penalty here. So James Thurston, how about that exiting pit road? It might have been just a bit too fast. You see this about a minute and a half ago. He was on pit road, and he had to come down once again. Now, the man who wins your championship is going to be 14th on the board, and Chase Schaefer losing his competition just like that. In the blink of an eye, James Thurston now going to be in big trouble. The number 96 going to be one lap down if Chase Schaefer gets to him, and it looks to be a dire situation for the man who's going to be in that Good Smile Racing number 69 machine. Of course, he alternates numbers, but tonight he's in that 96 yellow flag down. 34 laps in for Cooper Glick. No, it looks like it's going to be perhaps for Joseph Armstrong, although as drivers coming to pit road, that looks to be a comp yellow, and this gives every driver the opportunity to bunch up once again. The yellow flag out, and it could be for Joseph Armstrong. That we will see. No, we came down pit road, and we are not aware of why that yellow flag came out. It looks like it might have been Jackson Card. He gets by nice and smooth on Aiden Walker, but we don't see an incident on the track, and that just might be our final comp yellow of the season. 35 laps in out of 80. And the competition yellow strikes just about midway through. How about that? Let's see what's going on here as they come down pit road once again. Perhaps not, as fit going to be the man in the 99, Chase Schaefer, leading from River Page, and Jackson Carr holds on strong there in third. In the fourth spot is going to be man, who else but that number 099, Sean Rowe, going to be right there. And rounding at your top five, it's Vincent Guecci in the 09 machine. Mason Moriarty holds on strong in the sixth position, and James Barmar going to be able to switch positions and go a few spots back. He goes down pit road with Joseph Armstrong, and it looks like Jonathan Leisure there as well, as Aiden Walker leads him down and in once again. Chase Schaefer holds on nonetheless to your race lead. As we have just a bit of time here, we'll go to a Fireball Talks non-stop break, and we will return immediately thereafter. 36 laps in out of 80 here in the IORA Cup Series season finale, and we will be right back. And give us just a moment before we get right there.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
And that will be your final sponsorship message of the night. That's Fireball Talks nonstop for you. And we got to thank you all once again for stopping by and watching live on FTN. Your support means the world as we get right into it once more. It's going to be the driver of that number 99 in Chase Schaefer out in front. He's going to be on the high side this time around, and it's going to be the man in second in River Page right there with him. So as we get right into it once again, it's going to be two drivers who have dominated the season for the most part in the 99 and the 24, two of which who have been in that championship battle through and through. He was started on the front row for the second restart of the night. 38 laps in, out of 80 here in IORA. And as we get right back into it, once again, it's going to be all about the Monster Designs number 99 holding on with the River Page there in tow. Let's get right back at it. Sean Rowe going to be in third. Jackson Carr is going to be in fourth. And Vince Iguechi in tow with Mason Moriarty. Your top three rows have been set. We still have a total of 15 drivers on the circuit. Aiden Walker is bowed out for the season, but Chase Schaefer will not bow down. Let's get right back into it this time around. It's going to be green flag led by Chase Schaefer. Here we go again. And a tremendous start for Jay Schaefer, who once more able to get that perfect jump, and that's exactly what he needed to get it going out in front. Once again, ahead of a good majority of the field, and he's had the field stumped. No matter where he puts that number 99, he seems to have it all hold on quite well, as he still leads them, and it seems like a few drivers getting the wall that time around. It's going to be Deitch and Moriarty, two cars spinning, yellow flags out once again. And we'll find out just why, looking at the instant replay on the board here. And Chase Schaefer holding on strong. And you can see he's still your leader, but this is going to involve the drivers, the number 6 machine and the number 57. Mason Moriarty going to go up high that time around. He gets high, and Michael Deitch goes for it, and it's going to be a bit of a slowdown, and it's going to be Vince Iguechi getting into the number 6 machine. Deitch going to slow down big as Mason Moriarty comes back into frame there, and they get stuck. And they both spin, Deitch and Moriarty do. And it appears that Joseph Armstrong, his season is done as well. He is just disconnected from the session. And Vince Iguechi able to get away just about scot-free from that incident as they all round through turns 1 and 2. And putting the pavement into motion. The number 99 machine of Jay Schaefer holds on out in front here in Homestead. And 41 laps in, we now have a total of 40 laps remaining on this season, and Chase Schaefer has led all but just about one of which. A wicked word for the man who leads the way so far. How about that for Chase Schaefer and his number 99 operation? So how's it feeling, Chase Schaefer leading so far?
Hey, what's up?
Well, it looks like so far a great race for you. You've been able to lead just about every lap in Homestead here. And while you don't appear to be in the championship running due to the point situation, you're still putting together one final great race. So what's the key to your execution here in the final night of the season?
Well, I don't know if you just saw what I did, but we're going to probably try and pull some strategy, do something interesting. I'm going to try and make this a one-stop, see what happens. We got 40 laps left to go. We got about 35 on the tank. Did a couple cautions. I might be able to make this last. So, gonna see what this is gonna do for me. We'll see at the end of the race. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep clean, be fast, pull some strategy.
And a big strategy call for the 99 camp nonetheless. How's the car been feeling, as it looks like fuel strategy going to be a big factor in how this race goes down?
Car feels good. I mean, I was in dirty air for a little bit, and I wanted to get out of that right away. Did not like how the car felt. It felt a lot more tight being in the dirty air. So I'm going to try to avoid that. I mean, now I really don't have any choice, but I'm going to try and get past people as quick as I can. Probably going to start saving the tires a little bit, since we're going to try and pull a different strategy that's going to take having to save some fuel. So not going to really be shifting in the corner. It's going to keep it in fifth. But yeah, I'm going to see what happens here, and might be able to make something happen. We'll see.
And taking big risks here in strategy, Chase Schaefer is, as we do have a little bit more time. How's it felt when it comes to tire degradation? Because it appears like tires won't be a big issue with only 80 laps on the board here, but do you have a limit that you have to work under?
The only thing I can really say is it gets loose. That's really the only thing I've noticed, is that on the longer runs, it just gets loose, and it gets uncomfortable. It feels a lot better in the beginning of the run. It's got a little bit of edginess to it, but it's just enough to where it's fast. But then later in the run, it starts getting a little bit slower, where like you'll have a car come on your outside, you can't really do anything because you're going to be getting loose. So it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping to have a good stint right here. We're not too far back. I think we're in 9th position, so 5th row on the inside. So we should be able to make something happen here.
And that's what to see. Chase Schaefer, now it's going to be 1 degree and 8 to final thoughts to wrap it up.
Nope. Just going to try and get this one done.
And there we have it, Chase Shaver back on the move, your leader beforehand, looking to shake things up here in Homestead. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
And Chase is going to be on his way here, chasing that victory one more time this season. He has an opportunity to get it done as Sean Rowe now is your new race leader on strategy. He's been on his tire set for 11 laps thus far, and as the sun is all but entirely set, he might just be able to take him all the way. 38 laps to go, going to become 37 laps to go. When we get green this time around, it's going to be who else but the man in that 099 out in front as we say hello to restart number 3 on the night. Let's go racing once again, led by Sean Rowe, the Quaker State number 099, and River Page going to stay up high right there with him. And all the way up front, the man in that number 24, River Page, sets the score. And he's going to get that record straight as well. Going to be way up high, though. It's going to be the number 54. John Smith going to go around front of the field. And that's going to be a yellow flag as soon as we see it. Yellow flag once more with 37 remaining. And the championship finale now getting a bit antsy here as John Smith involved. That's for certain in the middle of that picture. And you can see once again as they barrel off of that final turn. Nothing just yet. We'll find out when this wreck began, and we'll take a closer examination as Chase Schaefer now way back on this one, but James Thurston sends it 3. John Smith gets into Corey Lyles. They beat their doors off, and Ben Vinciguecci gets into Smith and turns them both around. Then James Bomar gets involved. Schaefer gets a bit of a tag in it too, and the yellow flag falls with a multi-car incident, and River Page sees that Vinciguecci is now stuck upside down on the circuit. No, he's going to be backwards. And it looks like he gets a shove from Vinciguecci. This is getting hectic here. And I'm not sure what's going on at all. As they all come down pit road, there's going to be a backwards driver on the track. And as they all move in, the 099 machine of Sean Rowe still leads, but things have gotten chaotic here in Homestead. And there's a driver sideways that has now been towed. I'm not sure if that's going to be a penalty, if they even saw him on the track here, but certainly going to be something to look at as Sean Rowe leads the way from Mason Moriarty, Chase Schaefer, and James Thurston. Now, as a good majority of the drivers come down to pit road, looks like Chase Schaefer might have his gamble work out with a few cautions, and he might be ahead of the game on strategy. We'll see if that curveball comes back to bite him at the tail end of it. That remains to be seen, of course. And we'll try to get a word with the man number 6 machine in just a moment, but I think River Page might be one of the guys to take a look out for, as Page now has a bit of damage there, and I'm not sure if he's going to be available for comment at the moment. It does not appear like he is going to be, and we'll get a word from one other driver in the meantime. How we get a word from the man in that number 83 machine now, Jackson Carr, of course, having one of his better nights in this show. We've seen him up front running close to the podium, so Jackson Carr, a lot of pace here at Homestead. How do you feel in the season finale?
What did you ask again?
Well, how you feeling so far in the final race of the season?
You know, we're feeling all right. I got this new paint. I love it. I spent $200 on it, worth every penny. This race, I don't know. It's really fun. Homestead, a lot of people are complaining. I like it. This is one of my... This and Charlotte are, like, weirdly I'm good at. But, you know, I really want to run the wall, but it kind of destroys your car physically and your tires. So I'm going to try to run the bottom here. We'll see what happens. I'd kind of like a long run. I liked how we got spaced out that one run. I was just kind of sitting fourth, chilling, but we'll have to see here. I wouldn't mind Thurston getting T-boned here, and so I'd have a shot at the top 3, maybe. Because I don't know if I'm going to pass Schaffer or Rowe or River, so we'll have to see here.
And certainly looks like you're going to be hoping for the worst case scenario for others here. Now, we do see that the tires degrading, or rather degrading as degradation is a big factor, but there's another factor that I want to keep an eye out on. The track conditions are changing. The sun has been setting. Do you think your car's driving any different?
It's hard to tell because we haven't actually done a lap. So I'm looking at it, you know, it's more down. We're going to be going more fast, so we might need to switch the line a little bit here. Sometimes the top comes in during the night, and sometimes it's bottom feeding. It just kind of depends. We'll have to see. I just want a long run. You know, I have an extra set of tires. I have 2 sets, so I don't know if Schaffer took tires. I think River may have, because he was on the pits for a while. So we'll have to see if he's like zooming by everybody. But for like fuel, I can make it. As is, I don't know if Schaffer can make it.
And that
He
remains
pitted
to be
way
seen.
before me.
Absolutely. Now, 1 lap to green here. I'm not going to try to cut you short, but we do want to get you back to the racing. So any final thoughts?
Yeah, so who knows? I think, you know, this track, I got 112 practice laps on it, so I'm feeling confident.
And there we have it. Jackson Carr looking to make practice transition into perfection, and currently going to be running 6 on the board. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, I'll see it.
Jackson Carr going to be back on his way. The number 83 machine is currently running just outside of that top 5, and he's having a great run so far. We'll see whether or not he's able to cap it off as a great one, but he's gotten real close so far, and with 33 laps to do it here in Homestead, the season coming to its close, and Jackson knows he's got to execute from here on out to make anything happen, and it looks like now is the time to execute as well as any other driver possibly can. Let's get right back at it once again. Defending winner and Mason Moriarty now side by side with leader and Sean Rowe. Green flag's going to come out once more. 4th restart of the night. And a tremendous start there from Sean Rowe. And you can see as every driver goes right by the line, you can see once again the drivers, but this time with a different coat of not paint, but a different tint on the color. Call it a coat, call it a tint, what have you. As you can see, the colors are absolutely shifting, and more the drivers appear to be coated in some sort of darkness. And right now it's going to be a bright light for James Thurston's opportunity as they go 3 wide for the race lead. Chase Schaefer tries to make it cut into the leading battle, and while he does try, it does not look as success is on the table for him just now. As he goes up high once again, the number 99 machine is right there in the mix with who else but the driver in that number 99 and the old 99, and as they battle with one another, they're all slicing and they're all dicing, and with 31 to do it here, River Page is going to be in a 5th spot, and Jackson Carr right there in a 6th. Corey Lau is going to be seeing that there's a battle right behind him. It's going to be between Vincent Guecci and Braxton Whitaker. Braxton at the moment is 1 lap down. However, he's still fighting to wit's end to keep that car in contention, and so far he's gotten close, too close to comfort maybe, to the man at a number 09 machine. It's going to be Schaefer who gets a real bottle off it. 30 laps to go here, and he's getting oh so close to losing that car entirely. But right now, Chase Schaefer battling as hard as he can, and let's just look on board with the man in that number 99. And now taking a look right back out, you can see down to the line, Schaefer goes right down to the inside, and he's making every single maneuver he can to potentially take that lead back, and that he does. And the Monster Designs number 99 machine makes it down to the fine line and gets it under the seam, inside line dreaming. He gets it like a dreamboat and sinks himself down to the inside line and rises back up as your race leader here in Homestead. It's going to be Sean Rowe there in 2nd, then James Thurston in 3rd. Mason Moriarty going to have the pace to keep himself in 4th, as Jackson Carr rounds out your top 5 with River Page there in 6th. And down the line once again, now Jackson Carr battling with the Corey Lyles machine, and it looks like that's going to be River Page. As a matter of fact, Corey Lyles just a bit off at the moment, but getting closer and closer. Lyles is to that front pack as Jonathan Leader in a bit of trouble, blinking in and out. Cooper Blick seeing that the Leader machine's right beside him, but in a bit of trouble keeping that car consistently on the circuit. He goes just a bit wide once again, so let's see what he's got in store. As it's going to be Glick going down to the inside line with 28 more to do it. Sean Rowe going to be out in front, Chase Schaefer there in 2nd, James Thurston going to be in 3rd as they go side by side. Going to be Moriarty, Page, and then Jackson Carr as Carr sees a switch up right in front of him, and Page goes down to the inside line with very little hesitation. Mason Moriarty, however, going to be side by side now with the Jackson Carr machine, and as they go up the track once again, 27 laps to do it, and they are having the most fierce battle that we have seen just about all night long. And let's take a look on board with the man in the number 6 machine. How about we take a lap? And Moriarty going to be able to work his way right up in that front pack. As you can see, this time around, Jackson Carr does have the edge with River Page right there in tow. And as they continue to go right back at it, you can see now that Thurston runs that high line and tries to keep himself there in tow. But as it stands, side by side, they keep it going right outside the podium battle. Jackson Carr with James Thurston, both of which battling at wit's end. It's going to be Mason Moriarty trying to make amends as he goes up high with 25 laps to do it here. And now this could be it. As they go up to high line, it's going to be riding the seam one driver. That's Corey Lyles, but riding the grip strip, another. And Moriarty going to be able to successfully keep himself in tow. Corey Lyles with Michael Deitch, Jonathan Leisure going to be in 9th, Cooper Glick going to be in position number 10, and Braxton Whitaker now down to the grass, and we'll find out just why. And Whitaker has been down on pace for it looks like quite a while here, and it looks like the tire has been dilapidated, the suspension is gone, and he continues to keep it driving, but he's going to have to come down to pit road or do something. He's now going down through an access road. He's in an awful lot of trouble, I'll tell you that. And you can see that while he's in that trouble, he's still driving it, as Sean Rowe going to drive right by to the line once again. 23 laps to do it. And as we get it underway, it's going to be Sean Rowe with River Page there in second, Jackson Carr in third, Chase Schaefer in fourth, and then James Thurston in the fifth position. And down the line once again, 23 will become 22 laps to go. And you know what that means. Our final Crank It Up on the Thursday night tour, led by Sean Rowe, TrackCams22.com, the best cameras on iRacing for the best Thursday night series in iRacing. And this prime time setting, 22 to do it uninterrupted for the final time this season. Let's crank it up, powered by TrackCams22.com. And with a total of 18 laps to go in the IORA Cup Series season, this will be it. Sean Rowe going to be out in front here in the Quaker State number 099 machine. And as it stands, Rowe has that edge by just about a half second over River Page in the number 24. As things begin to wind down here in this championship surge, the 099 of Sean Rowe might just have it in the bag. Whether or not he does, that remains to be seen. It's all not a given just yet, but he's getting close closer and closer to making it happen. Not for the championship overall, but for winning the final race of the year. One of the ones you absolutely want to win as a driver. The prestige is there. And tonight, it seems to be all fair in love and war. And tonight's been a bit of warfare for the drivers. And so far, Rowe going to be able to carry on. Sean Rowe sees River Page now go up to the high side with 17 more to do, with Jackson Carr going to be in position number 3. James Thurston going to be in 4th as Chase Schaefer holds on in 5th on the board. And as you can see, Corey Lyle's going to be in 6th, Mason Moriarty going to be in 7th, and Michael Deitch rounds out 8th spot on the board. Jonathan Leisure going to be in 9th as the top 10 has one more driver in it. That's going to be Cooper Glick. As it stands, though, Cooper Glick is currently 1 lap down, and Jonathan Leisure blinking in and out once again. So as it stands, only 9 drivers on that lead lap, and Leisure falling further and further back. Internet troubles, and it looks like a bit of trouble keeping it on the pace as he's 17 seconds behind the man in that number 099. Leisure does look to have a bit of damage, though, as he comes across the stripe once again and actually comes onto our frame once again. You can see there's a bit more on that right side than what we anticipated, as Sean Rowe leads there from River Page, Jackson Carr, James Thurston, and Chase Schaefer, as Corey Lyles holds on strong at 6th, and Mason Moriarty makes it so in position number 7. 15 laps to go here in the IORA Cup Series, and it's going to be the 099 machine in Sean Rowe holding on strong, as River Page is right there in 2nd, clawing at that lead, and slowly but surely gaining more and more time. Whether or not he gains enough to make something happen at the tail end, that remains to be seen as well, as Jackson Carr now goes right by 1 lap machine, and James Bomer hoping to do just that as well. And as they all come into the backstretch once again, Corey Lyles going to be in 5th, Michael Deitch now in tow, and Jonathan Leisure makes himself a nice and smooth lean-in entry into pit road, and that might be the final stop we see all season, as 1 driver in as well. That's James Bomar, and it could be a 1-stopper for the leaders, but some drivers not calculating it all, and it all comes down to how these drivers interpret the very final few laps of this showcase. And as it is, the driver out in front, going to be the man in that number 099. Nonetheless, River Page going to be in 2nd, Jackson Carr going to be in 3rd, James Thurston is in 4th, and you can see now Jonathan Leisure coming off of pit road, as it looks like John Smith gets lapped by a good majority of that pack. James Bomar, as it stands, has been a retiree for a few laps now, and Bomar putting it into the garage 22 laps prior. Only 3 retirees on the night, and 13 drivers still remain on the circuit, as 1 goes down to the inside line. That's Sean Rowe, and Page getting closer and closer to this victory. And that time by, he's got a bit of momentum surge. Sean Rowe going to be there in 2nd, and River Page with 11 laps to go in the night when they get down to the line leads with a dozen here and now, and he's now far out in front. He gets it down the back, and that momentum pulls him further than we anticipated. Now going to be up front as Sean Rowe goes down a pit road, and it won't be a 1-stopper anymore, as he holds on strong there in 5th, 6th. He's falling down further and further, and while he's holding on strong, he's losing more time. It was 11 laps to go. It's anyone's game here in Homestead. The strategy has to be played perfect, and now Page sees the undercut, and he is going to have to think of his next move. Will that next move be to cut down to the inside line and go to pit road immediately, or will he sustain his lead and perhaps wait for a later time? Jonathan Leisure goes down to the apron, and River Page stays on the circuit, as now Sean Rowe looks to be back on the circuit, and he's exiting pit road as we speak. It's going to be River Page who flies by your screen, and Sean Rowe is going to hope to fly off of pit road any moment. Now that he does, Chase Schaefer going to see right there James Thurston is right in front, and Thurston now going to be in 3rd on the board. Sean Rowe going to go down to 8th, and he's 1 lap down, getting lapped by about the drivers in 5th, 6th, 7th, as Cooper Glick now battling side by side with Schaefer, and one of Cooper Glick's stronger non-super speedway runs as he goes up high on Schaefer, and Chase Schaefer is a multi-time winner of the season, so a very impressive showcase from Cooper Glick through and through. Now he goes down to the inside line and tries to keep himself in tow, and it seemed like that he does. Glick now going to be in 8th, as Sean Rowe goes down to the inside line himself, and he is in 9th at the moment. And with 2 drivers a lot down, it's going to be Chase Schaefer battling both of them, as Sean Rowe has the pace to keep himself in tow. And as it stands, he's now going to be side by side with the lap machine, but it's going to be for position, as Cooper Glick has not gone down a pit road in the past 25 laps. River Page, however, knows he might just have to unless he conserves it all the way. And so far, with 8 great laps in store for him. He might just push it all the way on this strategy, and a great strategy it will be if, of course, he comes home with that advantage. As it stands, though, the advantage is not his, and it's going to be advantage number 83, Jackson Carr, on a bit of pace time after time. That time, though, not going to be the case, and James Thurston clawing him in 10th after 10th, lap after lap. James Thurston that time by ran at 33.493, and Jackson Carr, the number 83 machine, ran at 33.826. For those hoping to see the Road to Pro broadcast, it's already live on FTN right now. Be sure to check our live tab to see when we are live and where we are live, as so far we do have coverage for Road to Pro up. If you want to check that out, well, we are going to be live for quite some time, as the number 83 machine is now in second, and River Page goes down the back. He is leading them through. The number 24 machine from McConey Setup Shop has set it all up just right here, and he's going to be able to come down the line once again in that number 24 and make it 6 in the mix. Laps remaining, and look at him go once again. That's going to be all for the number 24, and 6 laps remain. Out in front, 75 out of 80. Jackson Carr going to be in second, and James Thurston, who's already locked up the championship, looking to lock up one final podium on the season before it's all said and done. And that number 96 for Good Smile Racing looks like he has it all, as long as he comes down to the line in one piece. And so far he's got that one piece, and that's going to be the piece that takes him all the way. That number 96 Ford Mustang, as solid as they have come all season long, and he's certainly been the best driver ever since we made that switch to the next gens. He was oh so close at Bristol Dirt in the trucks, but when we swapped over at Watkins Glen, it began to click for him just like that. And it's going to be 5 laps remaining for River Page, your race leader here in Homestead. He might just be able to come home with the victory at the end of the night. He's getting closer and closer, and nobody's going to be right there with him so far, as the McConey Setup Shop number 24 machine has set himself up for victory better than any other driver so far. Down to the line once again, going to be the number 24, taking us down to 4 laps to go. And here we have it. It's only going to be just about 6 miles left on this season, and what a season it has been for River Page. A breakout success he's been, and next season looking to go all the way in the title pursuit. River Page, one man to watch as the years go by. He's going to develop to be a great racer, I tell you what. And for McConey Setup Shop, a great ambassador for sim racing he's become as well. Watch out for River as he comes down to the line once again. It'll become 3 laps to go. He pits. River Page pits with 3 laps to go. Jackson Carr inherits the lead with 3 remaining. He might have to pit as well, as Sean Rowe now coming right up to him. Just the battle for the effective lead up to the high side. Sean Rowe goes, and now it's going to be Rowe way up high on that grip strip. Does he have the power to make it happen? It looks like that he does. And now Sean Rowe takes the advantage. And while he's not up there for position just yet, that number 99 machine knows he'll have to wait for these guys to go down to pit road, and that they will any moment now, unless they stretch it just perfect. Jackson Carr hoping to stretch it just perfect, and will he be able to do so? No, we will not if he goes down next time by. But with 2 laps to go, now Jackson Carr pursuing win number 1 of the season. And 1 win is all it takes to put him in with a series of IORA Cup Series legends. He's looking to get it done in this 3rd season, one of the most competitive ones we've seen all of our time with the IORA Racing League. And now it's going to be James Thurston down the inside line, side by side for the lead with 2 laps to go. Your champion goes to the point in the final race of the season, and with 1 lap to go, will Jackson Carr delegate himself to pit road? No, he will not, but Thurston has the edge with 1 lap remaining in the season. And James Thurston, who locked up the championship before we got going, already knows that the $300 grand prize is his. The Quantum Quest. It'll come home in his direction, but he's still got half a lap to go until he makes himself sure that he gets this victory. Thurston now pushing a wit's end through the final 2 corners. 24 races of trials and tribulation, and only 1 driver gets the relief of victory overall, and he'll win the final race. But overall, James Thurston comes down the line and wins the 3rd IORA Cup Series championship, and he gets it done unanimously there. He wins the final race and wins by a wide points margin that could not be usurped. And even if it was dead even coming tonight, he would have won it nonetheless. James Thurston wins from Homestead. And winning for the final time in this season, the winningest driver all year long gets it done 1 time. What about this James Thurston? And he gets it done once again. One of the most consistent drivers that you'll ever see in this league. Gets it one more time, and it's going to be James Thurston who wins for the 96 machine. 2 seconds up on Jackson Carver, led with 3 laps remaining, and Corey Lyles comes home in third in the number 56. Chase Schaefer, looking to get redemption from Atlanta, comes home there in fourth, and rounding at your top 5, Michael Deitch in fifth, 15 seconds back, makes it home with his final top 5 of the season. Mason Moriarty, as always, seems to come home in sixth. The number 6 machine gets it done. Just outside the top 5 is River Page, who had that race in his hand, had to pit for extra strategic reasons and did not get the caution he needed. Yellow flag, not going to bail him out. River Page comes home in 7th. Sean Rowe, the number 8 machine on the board. The 099 finishes 31 seconds off as Jonathan Leisure takes a 9th spot on debut. And for the final ride in Braxtech's run as a sponsor in the IORA Cup Series, Braxton Whitaker comes home 3 laps down in 10th. From there on out, it's going to be Cooper Glick there in 11th. Then it's going to be Vincent Guecci 12th. John Smith 22 laps down in 13th. James Belmar 35 laps down in 14th. And then Joseph Armstrong 15 position, 41 down. Aiden Walker 47 laps down. And 3 drivers did not make it to the grid. And Michael Cormenis, Jason Beckman, and Alexander Balderas. But now it's time for the man of the 96 to celebrate. Take a look at this uninterrupted burnout live on FDN. Your championship winner gets to celebrate it all. And that is the final burnout of the season. And it goes to the man who not only comes home with a final race win of the season, but the man who eventually comes home as your season champion with $300 on the line. The Quantum Quest, undeniably one of these events that these drivers continue to chase, hoping to get it done for their own. And tonight, James Thurston, knowing he gets this title unequivocally and unanimously as he wins the final race of the season. He has that winning run till the tail end, and at the end of the day, the driver of the 96 machine comes home with a $300 bonus at the end of the night. The Quantum Quest for James Thurston is complete. He not only wins the final race of the season, but he wins the 3rd season championship in the IORA Cup Series. Victory all around. James Thurston, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good, man. Yeah, yeah, we won the championship. Yeah, fun race there, fun season. It's great to win it all.
And winning it all in style now. 24 rounds leading up to this conclusion. Now, what was your key to success before we get to the Homestead interview? We'll get to the overall interview here. Every race, you were on it just like that. With the competition we have here, that is no easy task. So what really was it that got you up there time after time, proving yourself to be a consistent figure, even in the Quantum Quest where it all mattered?
I think just kind of what happened this race, just never giving up, even when you're not sure what everyone else is doing, just pushing through and just making sure that you can just do everything you can to make the best out of even a day that's not going that well. Just being able to finish well, even when you don't win. That's how you win championships, and that's what we did this season.
And that was the way of racing for James Thurston. Even if he could not get that victory, you always seemed to have a backup plan tonight. You didn't need one. You were able to come home not only with a pole position and, of course, not only with a championship, but with one final victory. And I tell you what, strategy there was as close as it could ever get. So what really separated you there? Undeniably, it seemed like you got it done at the tail end when it was all about being clutch.
Yeah, well, I mean, the clutch was used a lot there at the end. I was making sure I could save all the fuel possible. I had to save a couple laps. I ended up being, pretty good there. I still had more than enough fuel for a burnout, and I guess I was just the only one up front that decided to save fuel. I'm not sure if any of the other guys pit on that final caution, but yeah, they just ran their stuff out, and I didn't, and that's kind of the difference.
And the difference, it is clear, a champion's drive to seal it all the way. Now, James Thurston, next season on the horizon in September, will you be back to defend this title?
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll be here for that. Yeah, we'll see what happens between now and then. But that should be fun. We're hopefully gonna, really improve some stuff in the league, make it a lot more fun for people to race in, make it, a bit more competitive and just overall more fun. So that'll be interesting to look out for, and can't wait for it.
And of course, a revitalization of IORA in the works, and this championship, the final step before we get right there. Now, James Thurston, absolutely a dominating force all season long, coming home with the victory. You have any final thoughts to wrap this season off, and anyone else you'd like to thank after a tremendous performance all year long?
Just thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports for providing that championship there. Just amazing what we did there. But yeah, awesome race, awesome championship, awesome season. Yeah, thanks for broadcasting it all, by the way, too. We appreciate it.
And there we have it. James Thurston, in his own right, was able to make a show that anyone could appreciate, and I'm sure the viewers would have to say the same. 24 races, and only one man could be on it as much as he was, and it was, of course, himself. James Thurston wins the final race of the season and the championship in tow. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And how about that? James Thurston coming home on top, and Jackson Carr, while not second in the championship standings, had a stand-out performance, and I got to give you major props, Jackson. What a race that was for you. Of course, not the finish you wanted there, leading at the tail end, but nonetheless, a standout and a second place to wrap this season off. How do you feel here from Homestead?
Oh, David, I was one lap short. Man, I really wanted to push when he was behind me, and I ended up. It's good that I had such a big gap, because I actually ran out of fuel, like, exiting 4, so the whole front stretch I was just coasting, so a little frustrating, but a P2, it works, if I'm going to lose to anybody here, it's going to be the guy who never stops doing this track all day long and never shuts up about it, so that's a good person to lose to. All race, I was just kind of a 4th place car. I couldn't really, the long run, I don't know. I just couldn't really figure it out. So good that it came down to fuel mileage, because I thought I was good on gas, and then with 20 to go, I was like, actually, I should probably start looking at it, because I saw Thurston start really getting slow. So I kind of followed what he did, and if I just probably would have done it a little bit sooner, I could have pushed a little bit more at the end there, unfortunately.
And it seems like strategy almost came into your favor there, but either way, even if you were one lap short on the push, you're able to conserve your way home to the runner-up spot here. So 24 races this season, and overall we saw you at a good amount of them. I believe about half of the very most, but either way, a very competitive driver you proved to be. So how do you feel after this season, and how do you think it's all gone, as it seems like you finish off with the best you've got here?
I don't like their number policy. I think it is corrupt. I think it's a bit suspicious how they make you run the number that you commit to. I've gotten multiple penalties on that, but next season, I think if they can keep on pulling, this isn't a league I go to try really hard. It's just kind of a league to have fun in. So definitely won't be showing up to next season. Most of the races, I'm not going to show up to a Rockingham, because I don't care about Rockingham, but if they go to good tracks like Homestead, like Charlotte, like Martinsville, I'll keep on showing up.
And that's what we'd love to see out of the man who finishes season off a runner-up. Now, Jackson Carr, any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank at the conclusion of season number 3?
I want to thank everybody at Burn Rubber Racing. Obviously, Bomar made me a new paint. Couldn't run it tonight because of number restrictions, so I want to thank my dad for my $112 PC. It works really nice. Getting good graphics. I think that was one of the reasons I was able to do so well. I mean, I can run so many frames. So, and thank you, Corey Lyles, for having his picture on the back of my car today.
And there we have it. Jackson Carr, second to the board tonight. And of course, we'd love to see him back for the 4th season, but finishing out this 3rd one strong. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
And there we have it. Jackson Carr going to be on his way as he finishes with, I believe, his teammate there right behind him. And Corey Lowes, who kicked this season off with a bang at Daytona, winning there, comes back for his second podium of the season here in Homestead. It looks like you finished it off just as well as you started it. Maybe just a bit off, but nonetheless, a podium is a podium here in IORA. How do you feel after this one?
Well, probably shouldn't have been up there, but I got put in the right spot at the right time. Wish I had that kind of luck earlier on in the season. Might have had a better chance at a championship, but who knows? I don't know.
And nonetheless, it looks like the championship battle, unfortunately, we're not able to be a big part of that one at the tail end. But tonight, a great showing from you. So what was your key to success here in, of course, Homestead?
Pretty much just saving fuel. I got wrecked, I think, was it lap 8 or so? Got spun out. So I was in the back most of the time. Tried to stay out of trouble. Saved a little bit of fuel. I saved a little bit of tires. And yeah.
And able to save all the way to conserve your way to a podium finish here. Now the next season going to be on the way. Season number 4. And it's going to be a much different experience. The admins hope to make it even better than what we saw this time around. So what's your hope going into the next season of competition? Do we expect to see you there?
I don't know. I haven't made up my decision yet. I might be there. I might not be. I don't know. Just see how things go.
And that we will. Now, Corey Lowes at the end of the day, third on the final race of the season and a winner this season as well. So anything else you'd like to add and any final thoughts to wrap this season off?
It was a pretty good season. Thank you for Jackson Carr running my forehead on the back of his car. That's about all I got to say.
And there we have it. Corey Lowes going to keep it brief, but nonetheless a great performance at the end of the day. So, Corey, thank you for your time.
No problem.
And there we have it. At the end of the day, the Quantum Quest goes to one man and one man only. The driver of the number 96 in James Thurston gets it done as a champion, and he deserves every moment of the celebration getting it done for his own. Thurston gets home with a $300 grand prize, and we hope to see him back next season contending for even more of the piece of victory pie that he's been able to take out this time around. Now, we got to thank every viewer for watching this season. A great 24 races and a great drive by every one of these competitors to put on an incredible show for every viewer to watch. Got to thank everyone involved. Alex Anderson, our league owner, James Thurston, our champion, every driver who's participated in this season. And unfortunately, there's a bit too many for me to list, and every administrator that goes into making this IORA Cup Series a success. We'll be back in September with a revitalized system of operation. The IORA Cup Series is going to be new, improved, and much better than what we've ever seen here. Stick around for that. It'll be just about as good as it can possibly get as the 96 machine burns it down to finish this season off. We'll be back in September, but we also will be back in about 17 minutes. We'll be live with the Highline Racing League then and there, so we hope to see you there as we get things going very soon on our next broadcast. We want to thank you all once again for your support and your contribution live on FTN. We couldn't do it without any one of you. Thank you all once more for watching. James Thurston is your champion, and that will do it for the season. Thank you all once again, and we hope you have a great night.